everyone, welcome back to Pabbly. In this video, we are going to learn how to summarize employee exit interviews using AI agent. So I'm a manager in an IT company and we manage all our employee exit interviews with the help of the form that I've created using Google Forms. Now in the form, I have added many questions that we are asking this employee as they are leaving our company. So now going through all the lengthy form submissions one by one manually is a very time consuming and hectic task. So to solve this problem, I have created an AI agent using Pabbly Connect. Yes. So now whenever a new form submission is going to be done by an employee using Google Forms, automatically an AI agent is going to analyze the form submission and is going to create the summary of the form submission. And as a summary is going to be created, I want to create the documentation of that summary. For that, I'm going to create a document of that summary using Google Docs. In my Google Docs, I've already created a template. Using that, I'm creating the new documents. So now if you want to learn how to create this amazing AI agent for yourself, for your business, then let me take you to my screen. In this video, we're going to learn how to summarize employee exit interviews using AI agents. So I'm a manager in an IT consultancy business and we use Google Forms to collect the structured responses during employee exit interviews. I use an AI agent that automatically summarizes the feedback and highlights common themes. After the summary is generated by the AI agent, that AI agent creates a documentation of that summary using Google Docs, which creates a clean and an organized document with the summarized insights, making it easier for my HR team to review and take action. And I'm going to create this amazing AI agent using Pabbly Connect. So now firstly what we need to do is, we need to browse the website of Pabbly Connect. For that, on a new tab, browse the website of Pabbly Connect, that is www.pabbly.com/connect. After browsing the website, Pabbly Connect's landing page is going to appear in front of you. On the landing page, you have two options, that is sign in or sign up for free. If you're an existing user, you can directly sign into your Pabbly Connect account. But if you're a new user, you can sign up for free and get 100 free tasks every month. I am an existing user, so I'm going to directly sign into my Pabbly Connect account. Then you can see the all Pabbly apps window in front of you, in which you can see all the applications that Pabbly provides, from which we are going to use Pabbly Connect by clicking on this Access Now button right over here. Then Pabbly Connect's dashboard is going to appear in front of you. And in order to start a new AI agent in our Pabbly Connect account, we need to create a workflow. For that, click on this Create Workflow button. Firstly, we need to name the workflow, which is going to be AI agent to summarize employee exit interviews. Okay, so this is the name of my workflow. For the folder on the left side of my screen, these are the folders from which I'm going to select this AI agents folder. And then I'm going to click on this Create button to create the workflow. As you can see that a new workflow has been created and you can see there are two windows in front of you. One is the trigger window, other is the action window. So what is trigger and action? Trigger and action are the two most important steps of our automation process because our process depends on these two principles. Over here trigger says when this happens and action says do this. That means what is action? Action is a response towards our trigger. In an automation process, there can be only one trigger step but multiple action steps. We are going to set up a trigger step first, in which for my trigger application, what I'm going to do is I'm going to select it as Google Forms. Over here, my trigger application is Google Forms because as soon as a new form submission is going to be done by the employee, I want the trigger over here should capture the response of that. That is why for my trigger application, I've selected it as Google Forms and the trigger event is going to be new response received. After selecting the trigger application and the event, you can see that Pabbly Connect has provided us with a webhook URL. Using the unique webhook URL and by following the steps given here below in the help desk, we are going to build a connection between Google Forms and Pabbly Connect. So firstly, I'm going to copy this URL from here. After copying the URL, what I'm going to do is I'm going to open the form that I want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So this is the form that I've created. You can see right over here. This is the exit feedback form. Okay. And using the form, the employee who's leaving our company is going to give their final thoughts right over here. Okay. So now we're going to connect this form to Pabbly Connect. For that, from the panel, go to responses section right here. After coming to responses, you can see this option that is link to sheets. Click on this option. It is asking for the destination for the responses. Either you can create a new spreadsheet or select the existing one. I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to click on this create button right here. You can see a new spreadsheet has been created over here, okay? And this spreadsheet is directly connected to this form right here that we have created using Google Forms. Now, whenever by the employee new form submission is going to be done using this form, automatically the response is going to be saved over here in my spreadsheet. That is why what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect this spreadsheet to Pabbly Connect so that whenever a form submission is going to be done, the response is going to be captured right here. The response from the spreadsheet is going to be forwarded towards my trigger, okay? So now let us connect the spreadsheet to Pabbly Connect. For that, what you have to do is from the panel, go to extensions, add-ons, and get add-ons option right here. Then this window is going to appear in front of you. Over here on the window, it says search apps. Over there, search for Pabbly Connect webhooks and select this option from here. You can see that I've already installed Pabbly Connect webhooks, so we have to move forward. But if you have not installed Pabbly Connect webhooks, please do install it so that with the help of this webhook, you're going to build a connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect, okay? After installing, go back and refresh the spreadsheet from here. After refreshing the spreadsheet, this is the entire spreadsheet you can see right over here, okay? And the last column is column P, remember that, okay? Now over here, go back to extensions and now you can see this option Pabbly Connect webhooks. Click on it. From the drop down, select this option that is initial setup button right here. Then the initial setup dialog box is going to appear in front of you, on which firstly it is asking for the webhook URL and for the trigger column. For the webhook URL, I'm going to paste the webhook URL that Pabbly Connect has provided us. And for the trigger column, it says the trigger column will be a final data column on which if the data is added, the whole of that row data will be sent to the webhook URL. In the spreadsheet that I've created, my final column is going to be this column P. That's why I've told you, remember this column. As soon as the final data is going to be added in this column, the entire row's data is going to be forwarded towards this webhook URL. So that is why for my trigger column, I'm going to write it as column P right here, okay? And then simply I'm going to click on the submit button. As I've done that, it says setup configured successfully. Now I'm going to go back. The steps that I'm going to tell you right now are super important, so please do not forget to follow them. Go back to extensions and Pabbly Connect webhooks. Now from the drop down right here, select this option that is send on event. It is mandatory to select send on event because as soon as the new data is going to be added in this spreadsheet, the new form submission is going to be done, the record of it is going to be created. This spreadsheet is going to collect all the new data and send it towards this webhook URL. That is our workflow, okay? That is why it is mandatory to click on this send on event, okay? So this is how you build the connection between Google Sheets and Pabbly Connect. If I'm going to go back to my workflow and scroll down, it says waiting for webhook response. So now to check whether Google Forms is now successfully connected to Pabbly Connect or not, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the new form submission of this form right here. And after doing the submission, I'm going to check whether the trigger over here captures the response of the new form submission data or not. Okay, so now let us do the form submission. For that, firstly, I'm going to copy the link of this form right over here. This is the link. I'm going to copy it and open it in a new tab right over here. So this is the exit feedback form you can see right here. I'm going to do the form submission now. Firstly, it is asking for the basic details of my employee over here. So I'm going to fill in all the details. So you can see over here the name of the employee is new account, department is IT support, designation is system administrator. Last day of working is 16th of June and the manager's name is test manager. Okay, I'm going to click on this next button. After that, it is asking for the reason. So I'm going to select the reason and give the reason right here. I am moving to another city due to family reasons and unfortunately remote work wasn't feasible in my role. Okay, so this is the reason right here. I'm going to click on this next button. After that, over here it is asking for the rating. For the rating, I'm going to give it as 4 and write all the reasons right here. So over here, this is the reason. What did you like the most about your role? The leadership was approachable and the tools and infrastructure was well managed. What could have made your experience better? Nothing major. It was a smooth experience overall. So this is my feedback. I'm going to click on this next. Now it is asking for the relationship with my manager. Over here, I'm going to give it as good. And I'm going to describe the work culture right here. Very inclusive and transparent. Everyone was treated with respect. Okay, this is my review right here. I'm going to click on this next button. Now it is asking for my suggestions for improvement. So I'm going to write the suggestion right here. So this my suggestion may be considered hybrid options for more roles in future. Over here, if it is asking for will I recommend this company, I'm going to select it as yes and I'm going to write my final comment right here. Grateful for the journey and wish the company continues success. Okay, so this is my entire review. I'm going to submit the form. As I've done the form submission of my exit interview, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my spreadsheet, and yes, you can see in my spreadsheet the record is been created. Now I'm going to open my workflow and scroll down, and you can see the response has also been captured in my trigger. Recommended is yes, you can see this was the same reason, the reason that I've selected. Over here, this was the role. You can see nothing major should be changed, and you can see this is the same response that has been captured over here in my trigger of the form submission. Okay, if you're going to see the details, the name was new account. You can see right over here, and in that similar manner, the manager name is test manager. This is the day of leaving, the last working date. You can see right here. So you can see as the response has been captured in my trigger, this means that Google Forms is connected to Pabbly Connect and our trigger setup is done. After setting up our trigger step, now over here as we have the details of the exit interview, I'm going to use an AI agent to summarize the entire interview, and for my AI agent, I'm using OpenAI. If you want to use any other AI platforms as your AI agent, you can definitely do that according to your requirement. Okay, I'm going to select my action application as OpenAI right over here. Action event is going to be ChatGPT, and then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection. Then it is asking for the token, with the help of which we're going to build the connection between OpenAI and Pabbly Connect. To have the token, go to this hyperlink given here below in the help desk right here. The API keys page of our OpenAI account is going to appear in front of you, and now we're going to generate a new token. For that, click on this create button. Firstly, we need to name the token right over here. For the name over here, I'm going to give it as test token. Project is going to be default, permissions as all, and I'm going to create the token from here. As the token is generated, I'm going to copy it from here, paste it in this field right here, and click on the save button. OpenAI has now been connected to Pabbly Connect. After connecting, firstly it is asking for me to select the AI model, for which I'm using GPT-4o Mini. If you want to use any other AI models for your business requirements, you can definitely do that according to your requirement. Okay. After that, over here it is asking for the prompt. What is prompt? Prompt is the text with the help of which an AI agent generates the content according to our requirement. In the prompt, we have to specify all the things that we want and do not want. So for the prompt over here, I'm going to write it as. So you can see right over here, this is the entire prompt that I've written. You are an AI assistant helping an HR department summarize employee exit interviews. Based on the following responses, generate a clear, concise summary. Focus on the employee's reasons for leaving, experience, relationship with manager, suggestive improvements, and whether they want to recommend the company. Structure the summary in a professional tone and include bullet points where needed. Use the information below. Now over here, I have to map the data right here. Yes. What is mapping? Mapping means inserting data from the previous step right here. And how mapping works is that as soon as I'm going to select the field, the previous step is going to appear in front of you, and mine was Google Forms. As I'm going to click on it, the response that was captured in our previous step is going to appear in front of you. Firstly, it is asking for the full name of the employee who's leaving. In the response, we have received the employee's full name. You can see right over here. And as I want to create the summary for this employee, I'm going to select the data of the full name from my previous response. So now as I've selected the data from my previous response, you can see this is the mapped data. And as I've mapped this data, the data has now become dynamic. That means now whenever a new response is going to be captured in our previous step, automatically the new data is going to be updated in place of this mapped data. In the similar manner, I'm going to map the data for all these fields right over here. For the department, I'm going to map the data of the department right over here. For the designation, I'm going to map the data of the designation right here. It is asking for the last working day. I'm going to map the data of the last working day right over here. So this is the last working date. So I'm going to map the data. It is asking for the manager's name. So I'm going to map the data of the manager's name. In the similar manner, I'm going to map the data for all the responses as well. So you can see right away, I've mapped in all the responses as well on the places. Okay, so this is the entire prompt. I've selected the AI model. Now I'm going to click on this save and send test request button. And you can see right away, we have received a response. In the response, we have received the message content, and this is the summary generated of the exit review by the AI agent. You can see right here. It has mentioned all the points and has given us a final conclusion as well. Okay, so as now the summary is successfully generated by my AI agent right here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the proper documentation of this summary, and for creating the document I'm going to use Google Docs. Okay, this is the Google Docs template that I've created, and using this templates I'm going to generate the documents of these summaries. Okay, in this template, I've added a variable of the AI generated summary. You can see in front of the value, and in the end end of the value I've added 2 curly brackets, which makes this as a variable. In place of the variable, we are going to map the data of the summary. We are going to add an action step in this workflow, in which from action application, I'm going to select it as Google Docs right here. Action event over here is going to be create document from template. Then I'm going to click on this connect button. A window is going to appear in front of you, on which click on add new connection. Then click on this sign in with Google button right here. It is asking for me to choose an account first. For the account, this is the account that I want to connect to Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to select it. As I've selected the account, it is asking for the access of the account, for which I'm going to click on this allow button, as this is safe process and my data is perfectly safe with Pabbly Connect. So I'm going to click on the allow button. And you can see that I've successfully authorized Google Docs to Pabbly Connect. It is asking for the template document. I have created a template in the name of employee exit summary template. You can see this is the template that I've created. I'm going to select it over here in the document place. Now out of this template, when the documents are going to be created, what should be the name of those documents? For the name, firstly, I'm going to map the data of the name of my employee right over here. This is the name. I'm going to map the data. And after that, I'm going to write over here as, this is the name of my new document. That is going to be the name of my employee exit summary report. Okay. Now it is asking for the location. I have created a Google Drive folder in the name of employee exit summaries. So what I'm going to do is, for the location, I'm going to search for this folder that I've created and select it. Okay. All the documents are going to be saved in this folder. Then it is asking for the AI generated summary. This is the variable that I've created. In place of the variable, I'm going to map the data of the summary generated and simply click on the save and send test request button right here. As I've done that, I have received a response. In the response, I have received the document ID, which is a positive response. So if I'm going to open my Google Drive folder, you can see a new file has been added in my folder. So if I'm going to open this document over here that is created, you can see the report of the new account employee has been successfully created. The department was IT support. You can see this was the same content generated by my AI agent and has been created as a summary documentation using Google Docs. So as the document has been created successfully, this means that we have successfully created this amazing AI agent using Pabbly Connect. So now to sum up till now what we have done, the trigger is Google Forms new response received, as by the employee who's leaving my company is going to do the exit feedback form submission using Google Forms. The trigger is going to capture the response of that. Using the response details, an AI agent, that is OpenAI ChatGPT, is going to generate the summary of the form submission of the exit interview. As the summary is going to be generated to create the proper documentation, I am using Google Docs create document from template. Using a template, we are going to create the document of the summary generated. And this is how you create this amazing AI agent to summarize employee exit interviews using Pabbly Connect. So this was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching.
Not just with these applications, you can create automation between multiple applications using Pabbly Connect. If you have any doubts, you can send us email on support@pabbly.com. If you have any queries, you can ask us queries on forum.pabbly.com. And if you have any pricing related issues, you can check out this link. If you like this video, please do subscribe to our channel and hit the like button down there.